The justice system can be confusing and unsettling for anyone, but for a young person, it can be particularly overwhelming. Discussing difficult topics like trauma isn't easy, and having a companion like Mulder can make the process less intimidating. In part 2 of our 3-part series, Meeting Mulder, we see how he positively assists the young people he supports. We also explore the unique bond he creates with them and how they, in turn, give back to Mulder. Here's Lisa Parent.
I could talk about story after story about how children only gave their stories because Mulder was in the room and because he was their comfort. And so as somebody who interviews children, I'm humble enough to say that often it's not me, it's actually how the facility dogs are getting used to help our children talk about difficult things.
Mulder provides emotional support and comfort to children and adults who have fallen victim to violent crimes or tragic circumstances. His handler, Sherry, says Mulder is a constant companion as victims navigate the justice system.
Sometimes they have to go through a fairly lengthy process. They have to talk about things, and then they have to continue to talk about things through different systems. He just has an ability to know what to do to comfort. So he's very calming. His presence is calming not only for the kids, for the families, the parents, or whomever's brought them in.
Sherry and Mulder work as a team to engage with victims at a time when they are most vulnerable. The work they do helps the Medicine Hat Family Crime Unit investigate cases and bring justice to families.
Dealing with vulnerable people and children especially, people are very anxious and nervous coming to the police station in a lot of cases. Our unit deals with a lot of very sensitive and emotional, kind of trauma-based crimes. So those are oftentimes harder for people to come forward about to begin with. And Mulder really eases people's anxiety and kind of makes them feel at home and brings them down to allow them the strength, I guess, to talk to us.
Carrie Stober is a navigation specialist with the Victims Assistance Unit. She started a campaign for victims to give back to the facility dogs.
We found that when they were here, there's a moment when they do have a minute to be able to just interact with the dog, and they're always wanting something because the dogs give so much to them, the kids want to give something back, so they were drawing pictures. So we decided to do ties, turn it into a learning experiment, and it has been wonderful. The child goes in and talks with Sherry or one of the officers, then they design a tie, and then Mulder or Athena with scarves get to wear that when they come back down to us. And then that scarf or tie then follow the child and one of the dogs through the court process. So when we actually then take on court prep and we talk about appropriate attire, the dogs are already dressed and ready to go.
They feel quite connected to Mulder that way. And I would say, again, the majority of children are like, even our older kids, are absolutely, they'll make a tie. Whether they're 3 or whether they're 17, it doesn't matter. They get the opportunity. And they then get to decorate the tie. They get to put the tie on Mulder and walk with Mulder out of the room.
Carrie helps victims navigate the court process and works with the Crown to have Mulder in court when a victim testifies.
Do all court preps with children, bridge that gap, make them comfortable, have Mulder come into the courthouse. We then would tour, and then on day of trial, Mulder will take the stand with the child. They know the quality of work Mulder does, and Athena, and that they can be trusted on the stand. So they reach out. It's just a given that there will be a dog there.
Where he's also been impactful is in the court testimony side of things too. He's one of a few dogs in the province are certified to go with a witness into court, and again for the same reasons that he's so welcome in our interviews. He's welcomed by the court process too. There's never been a negative for all the events that he's attended in court, all the trials, all the victims that he's been part of their lives. A lot of them, they've said that they wouldn't have been able to do it without him.
Mulder and Athena's work area is filled with an array of toys and cozy beds for the dogs to relax in. Notably, the room is filled with ties and scarves, each one symbolizing a child they have helped.
There are hundreds upon hundreds of ties. This is just a small sample. We have tons of ties that we've used, and if they are going through different systems, we attempt to keep the tie so that they can use the tie throughout the system, and that's something they connect with Mulder through that whole process.
Mulder has truly been a gift to us, our community, and the children that he has served. And we only hope for Athena that she will have those opportunities and those experiences going forward as well.
Part 3 of Meeting Mulder can be seen tomorrow here on Chat Television.